Welcome to Divine Honey Podcast. I'm your host,
Yeah,
your friend, Tamika Johnson.
and I am your other host, your friend, Tim Johnson.
If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. This show is about human experiences. This includes thought provoking conversations and, most importantly, our Divine Honey guest sharing stories about love, life, journey, and purpose. If you're watching live or on the replay and you feel inspired, please drop a comment, questions. Engagement is welcomed on this platform.
We need it.
We need it. How you doing, brother?
Well, I got like this little flu, or I think I got allergies. Like now that I'm getting older, I'm getting like allergies. It's kind of weird, but other than that, we got like a 70-degree day here in Iowa, which is beautiful. No wind, so it's warm. We were just sitting out on the porch, and Bree goes, "Ooh, I think I'm getting sunburnt." So that's good. How you doing?
Good. Hey, Sophia. What up? Welcome. So that's all that's been going on with you. Just getting sunburned.
Yeah, we got like the weather in February's been crazy. We had light snow, but it's been like if we probably went back and looked at the degrees or however the forecasting system works, I bet our average for this month is like 50 degrees or higher. That's crazy for the month of February. February is usually that dreary month where it's
Mm-hmm.
like, ugh. But it's been a great month, great February. Shout out to Black History. Holding us down. You feel me?
It's a great Black History Month. Um, yeah, Arizona. I think it's like 75 here. Yeah, I just checked. It's good. I can't complain. I can't complain. Just
Right on.
been chilling out this weekend. I've been watching this show. Have you heard of the show The Bear?
The Bear?
The Bear.
No, I ain't never heard
It's
of that.
on it's on Hulu. It's good. That's all I'm gonna say. Did you ever watch the show Shameless?
Like the first season, I want to say.
So it's one of the people, the brothers from the older brother from on who's Shameless. He has his own show.
Oh,
So good. But anyways, and I want to give a shout out to Brienne last week being our guest. Got quite a bit of views, a lot of interesting information, and I just appreciate her coming on. Just talking about love within. And I hope we had Valentine's Day, and I think we filmed that episode after Valentine's Day. So I hope,
oh, fact.
yeah, and we didn't even say nothing about Valentine's Day as we were talking about love within. But I hope on Valentine's Day and after, y'all was loving yourselves, even if
Hey,
you
let's
had.
talk about that real quick, bro.
Okay.
Why we even celebrate that day? Like, what is the reason of that junk? Like, I don't want to sound like I'm like a non-lover type thing, but like for real though.
Well,
Like what
I don't
if
even
you
know where
love
Valentine's
somebody?
Day derives from. I feel like it's has something to do with like the mob and killing on Valentine's Day. I don't even know why this is in my head. You
I'm just
guys,
saying, if you love
yeah,
somebody, why do you need to do that on a day? If you're doing it only on a day, then you got something messed up in your relationship. Work on that.
facts, facts.
Feel me?
I feel you. Okay. So what's our discussion going to be today?
I thought we was doing like the little quiz joint. You got your questions. You're not even
Oh,
ready
you
for
want
your
to start?
questions.
Oh, you want to start out? We're gonna play a little trivia game for Black History Month. Okay, let's kick it off. Let's kick that off
I mean,
first
we
and
can end with
foremost.
it, but I feel like
No, no,
ending with the
no.
conversation is better. Yeah.
Yeah, let's yeah. Who wants to go first? I got 5 questions. He got 5 questions. It's like black card revoked. I feel like I'm gonna win. We're not doing multiple choice because I did not write multiple choice down. You just
All
got to
right.
get the answer.
Are you ready for this?
Who wants to go first?
I got it.
Okay.
All right. So, Drumline is the movie. What is what college did Devin attend in the movie Drumline?
A&M.
Get him
What?
out of here, buddy.
It was A&M.
Get him out of here, buddy.
What was it?
Atlanta A&T. Oh for 1.
Okay.
Oh, you probably get this one right. Who sang the 2001 classic hit "Just in Case"?
Just in case I
I
don't
don't
make
make
it
it
home
home
tonight.
tonight.
Jaheim?
Yep, you'll get this one right too. See, I did them easy, so I hope you did mine easy ones too. Because I know in your ass, you probably was out there searching for something so you can stop me.
So Phil said I got the A in AMG right. Thank you. Okay, what's the next one?
What Usher album went diamond?
Confessions.
All right. This is a two-part question for a bonus. In the movie Baby Boy, Tyrese Gibson plays what character?
Jody.
All right. What is the name of his girlfriend?
Yvette.
Yep. See, I did these too easy. All right. And then the last one. In the movie Next Friday, why did Craig's dad want him to leave the hood?
He wanted him to not die?
I mean, kind of, I guess, fear for his safety.
Yeah.
We'll give you a half a point.
Okay. So that's 3.5 I got?
Yep.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So, who was the first African American woman to win the Academy Award for Best Actress, which she won in 2002 for her role in Monsters Ball?
Monsters Ball?
Yeah.
Halle Berry! Halle Berry.
Okay, you got that. Okay. In 2008, this one's going to be easy. This politician became the first African American to be elected president of the United States.
My president is black, my Lambo blue, and I be got in my rims too. I like my Barack Hussein.
Okay. Calm down. 3. In the 2000, which African American fashion model gained widespread recognition for her appearance in Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue and became the face of brands like Victoria's Secret?
I know. Fudge. Naomi.
And Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks. I couldn't think of her name. I knew what it was. I couldn't think. That's the only name of probably Tyra.
Okay, it's Tyra. Okay. So the fourth one is, what was the natural disaster in 2005 that affected the Black communities in New Orleans, bringing issues of racial inequality and social justice to the forefront of national discourse?
A national disaster? Hurricane Katrina?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shoot. You're going to get this one. What influential hip hop group released the album Stankonia in 2000?
Outcast, holla at me.
I can't stand you. Okay, fine. You won. But you won by half a point.
You really should have won. I put that drumline one in there because I knew that you was gonna get that.
I couldn't remember the fake cop. It started with an A. Well, we did good. Well, happy Black History Month. I hope you guys keep educating yourselves. Keep pouring into the community. Allies, keep allying. Happy Black History Month.
Yeah, just keep the love alive.
Keep the love alive.
Yeah, love your neighbor, love yourself. You know what I mean? Show what that means to folks so we can start to change some of the trajectory of some of the folks' lives out here. We need more love in the world.
100%. Happy Black History Month. All right, so let's get into our topic.
Let's get into it. What's happening?
Let's get
Family
into it.
systems.
Family systems. I came to you about this topic. It kind of I'm on TikTok and they're always talking, and they were talking about, I guess, going no contact. That's kind of the thing now where people are not, um, they're separating from their families if it's not a healthy dynamic.
Sure.
That's kind of it's okay to just say, hey, this is the family I'm born into, but it's not a space for me and I need to step away. And just seeing people's reaction to that. And that comes from our own family systems and how family systems are changing. And I know you have a really big background on this, being in social work.
Yeah, I also think about like being emancipated. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that is becoming a lot more common with the changes of, I want to say, I don't know how to say this like politically correct, but I feel like the way that our world is like evolving with all of the identities that one can grasp onto to get a sense of belonging or community or family. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like people are searching and yearning for connection so bad that they jump group to group to group to group. And then that's where that
Mm-hmm.
emancipation, because I feel like you can be emancipated from your family at like the age of 16. You can file that in the court, which is
Yes.
crazy. Which is crazy. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that because there's, like I was mentioning, there's a reason as to why someone wants to be separated from their family legally.
Mm-hmm.
But if for those that have like what we would consider a traditional sense of family and lovingness and creature, why would you want to leave from that? But again, there's always reasons as to why folks want to separate or depart from a situation because they're not getting their needs aren't getting met in some form or fashion.
Mm-hmm. And also, in families, there's roles and boundaries. And you learn about boundaries, I think, sometimes growing up and in your family dynamic. I feel like I didn't understand what boundaries were.
Sure.
Anything went. You can say whatever you want. And you had to learn that as you get older and dealing with the world and the consequences of, if I don't respect other people's boundaries, I'm probably not going to have the level of boundaries myself. So in families, you'll see the roles where sometimes anything just goes, right?
Right.
And even when people go no contact, um, you know, let's say you're not speaking to, you decide you're not going to have a relationship with your parents for whatever reason that is. The world looks at it, there's roles, mom and
Hmm.
dad, but Bible, everything that we're taught, mom and dad honor our father, honor our mother. And I think kind of what I thought growing up is your parents they can do anything they want to you.
Right. But a lot of that stuff is like passed down too. So
Yeah.
when we think of like generation after generation of different traumas, different environmental circumstances that those folks went through, all
Hmm.
those get passed down to us, and it's up to us to break that. I think of like when you talk about the separation, I feel like those are contracts, and
Hmm.
and depending on, I would say really culturally, damn near every culture is like, well, that's a piece of paper. What does that mean to me? You're my child. You know what I'm saying?
Ownership.
So like when we think about like those boundaries, it's hard for us to accept that. Like why would my child want to leave me? I am your parent. Because of mom and dad going 50-50, we got you here. You know what I'm saying? Depending on
Right.
whatever your situation is. But it's like why does it get to there? But those contracts, like we don't know what those means. And then even when you think of just the structure as a whole, from like the 1900s to now, like those family structures are way different. Like now you got the two woman household, a two male household. You got grandparents still raising kids. You got
Single
aunts
parents, you
raising
got the single
kids. You got foster parents. You got kids who are homeless who don't have no. You know what I'm saying? Like those dynamics are wild. I'm trying not to say crazy because I don't know if I really like that word anymore, but it's like it's different and bizarre to the fact of like what do those boundaries mean? What do those normal roles of mom and dad, brother, sister, aunt, like what do those look like? Because it's changed.
Mm-hmm.
Even I think if we went to like the dictionary, I feel like almost like we need to define what that stuff means, because if you go and ask, if we did a surveyed like 10, 15 people, I would imagine we might have 25% of those folks saying, having like the same definition of what family is. And that's not a lot, you know what I'm saying? And it might even be less than that. It's all different.
100%. Let's go to a comment real quick. Let me pull it up. Do you want to read, Tim?
Sometimes necessary, but it's scary that kids have so many more reasons to leave in the time of their lives that they are all struggling to figure out who they are. That's facts.
Yeah.
There's so many influences, like and I think we might have touched on this briefly, but you know, with social media, your peers, these influences are all reconstructing our brain stems. Like our brains are just changing so fast that now we don't even know who we are, what we want to be, because you can pick and choose a different identity damn near every day if you so choose to.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's going to stop that. Who's going to stop that because of a role or a boundary? Who's going to stop that? How are you going to tell me how I feel? And then now that turns into a whole nother different type of circumstance or situation that we never even wanted to embark in. You know what I'm saying? So roles and boundaries are tough.
They're tough. And sometimes we take on roles.
Oh, yeah.
Or they're assigned to us, or we take on. I would say in our family, I'm older sister, right?
Yep.
So I would, in our nucleus, I took care of, like, okay, I make sure we're going to have Christmas. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Right. And I still have a sense of having to fix everything.
Right.
Those aren't healthy things. Everybody is an adult at this point. I don't have to do it. Actually, we have our own lives, but that's what I did when I was younger, and I still see it. Yep. And sometimes not even like, I'm like, oh, that role is sometimes not healthy. I don't have to do that. I saw the role transition over to, you know, my family that I met last year or 2 years ago. Right, knows my dad was sick, and I went back to Iowa for about 2 weeks, and he's doing well. He's home now. But with that, you know, though I'm new to the situation, older sister still kicked in immediately.
Yep.
What's going on? What's happening? What do we need to do? Writing everything down, making sure everybody had all the information that was elsewhere among my siblings. I still took on that role. First, I felt like, am I overstepping? But like, because I'm so used to it, I just didn't even like care anymore. Like it, you know?
Yeah. And then you even take that to like the educational system and the juvenile justice system. Like kids of color are viewed older in the sense of how they act based off of the role that they had to play within their family. You know, oftentimes culturally, you know, there's a lot of kids, so like that older sibling has to take over and cook, clean while mom or dad or whomever is the caregiver is working and doing all those things. So now when they go to the school or they're into an environment, they act older, but they're still only 14 or 15 years old. And now that's applied to them as a higher level of responsibility, but they're still a kid.
And, you know, we forget, I like that in earlier podcasts, you were talking about the frontal cortex. Like we're not developed. Oh, they're 19. They're the 21. I mean, you're still developing. We are old, like you're 30. I don't know how old you are, 10, 35.
34, baby.
You're 34. I'm about to be 42 next month.
Your old ass.
It's rough. 40. This is hard. But anyways, I'm still alive. But I'm not thinking back to when I was 19 or 20. I was an idiot.
But
like, you know, not an idiot, but I just didn't have no damn sense.
But there also wasn't no guidance or no role modeling for what sense is, to be honest. Right. Our system was so jacked up that it was like, you know, there's little man, older sister, mom, both of our fathers are out of the picture. So then the dynamic is already jacked up, and now we're in a flip situation as to where it's like who now holds the reins. And I always say, like, I love mom, but shit, she grown. You know what I'm saying? Like, as you were saying, we all grown now. That's how our system is. That's how I see it.
And
Figure it out.
and another thing we're talking about, when you have kids and you say they're mine, you feel like you have some type of ownership. That's something you own. And there was a moment with me and mom where, me and her used to go at it. Like I wasn't the most respectful daughter at the time, you guys. I just wasn't. Later in life, I did apologize for that because she is still my mother. But I didn't have the communication skills. I really didn't have the skill set. I was acting my age for sure. Um, but one of the fallouts that me and her had is I said, because she would always quote like what Bill Cosby would say, "I brought you in this world, I'll take you out." Look, you don't own me. You don't.
Right.
And I said, if certain things happen, because my mom was crossing the line. She was a habitual line stepper. If there was a line, she was going to cross it. And I said, if our relationship is going, I probably said it more rough, but basically, I'm not going to deal with you.
Right.
I don't care nothing about you being my mama. Because how can you treat me this way? And I'm supposed to take it, and I ain't. And me and her stopped talking for a little minute over this. And I stood 10 toes down. We've never had those. Once we came back together, we've never had those type of problems that was going on. Because I said I would not be in a relationship with you.
Right. You got to stand on business, like my man Drewski say.
I thought T.I.'s son said stand on business.
No, that's the Drew.
Okay.
Standing on business.
But, we're fine. But I think it's okay to have boundaries of how you want to be treated because your parents are important. They did bring you into this world, and that's a beautiful thing. But God had a little something to do with that too.
Yeah, it's deep.
You're the vessel.
I mean, communication is sure like 100%. We got to be able to communicate.
Yeah.
Because we have to know, but at the same time, like in communication, someone has to comprehend because you're only 50-50 of the conversation. Yeah. So if I say this is what the boundary is and I go back on it, which people do all the time, now you're communicating that I'm not setting a boundary. I just said this out of anger or whatever. So in setting that boundary, I'm making sure that I'm standing on that boundary, and this is what it is. And boundaries are okay. You know what I'm saying? So don't feel bad for taking something of yours back for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a part of human nature. Like we don't want to do something. We ain't got to explain why we don't want to do it. It is what it is. Stand on it.
It's I feel like just out of observing people in those big family households, like there's like 8 of y'all or 10 of y'all. It's very hard because we're taught to like, you stick together, which you do. Like, obviously I have that motto. But what do you do in situations? You have this big family dynamic, but everybody's jacked up. Everybody's dysfunctional. We can't communicate or crossing the line. Oh, add this one in it. Trauma. And you know what's the big trauma that jacks up families? Some type of addiction.
Facts.
So, yeah, in those cases, I would see, you probably need some professionals involved when you.
Well, the first step is the identification of what's going on. Mm-hmm. Someone within that 8 has to be able to identify it, or else nothing ever gets resolved. And then slowly, you start to seek that help, because if you come in too hard and too fast, you're going to lose your family. You're going to lose everybody. You're going to lose what you was trying to fix.
Right. And then you have some people, it's hard because they run away, right? Like if there's I always say this, we could all grow up in the same house, but our experiences are not the same. Facts. Because the way I view it, you might not view it that way. Because of my role in the family, maybe I'm a middle child, or I'm a younger child, or I was the rebellious child, or I was I'm going to have a different experience of maybe how I was treated and how people interacted with me. So,
Straight up.
because you know what I'm saying, was like, well, that didn't happen to you. That didn't happen. Why
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. It's
And that's
crazy. We can all, like you said, we all be in the same house because each time, Bree and I have even talked about this before. Like each time, you know, a new situation or a new child is brought into the situation, you're getting a different parent. So then that even adds into the experience that you get as coming into that family dynamic. Each time someone is born, you're getting a new side of somebody, regardless of how you think or you feel. It's just what it is. The first child is always going to be like the protective, probably like super attached child. Your second child, all right, we had this first one, so now we kind of know how to raise. And then you have a third one. All right, now we can let them go and explore the world, and we're not so. And then you have a fourth one. Now the kids are raising the kids. You know what I'm saying? Where the parents are now just
right.
like the supervisors.
And you know what? I just thought of something. The kids are raising the kids. Now, back in the day, you know, there's this big debate how you could leave well, we didn't have that experience because we didn't have our grandparents. But you could, but I mean,
You met the grandma?
yeah, I think our grandma passed away when she was like, I was like, before you were born, so maybe I was 7, 6, something like that. So I didn't have her that long, but I did go get to spend a couple weeks with her. So thinking if she was alive, that was a place we could go. We would have a grandparent that we could stay with for sure.
Yeah.
But you know how, you know, back in the day, you go stay at your grandma's house with your cousins and this and that. And now because the new generation grandmothers, they're not doing that so much.
Because they're young.
Right.
The new generation grandma is like 40 years old. These kids getting popped out when the kids like 17, 8, they having kids in high school. Like it's like before then it was kind of like it was something that happened, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
It happened, you know, occasionally it happened. Now, like there's a lot of young parents. When I was just working in Des Moines public schools, like there was like because I started at the end of a school year, there was like 5 girls pregnant going into that summer, juniors in high school. My second year working at North, those 5 girls had their kids, and then now you got like 10 girls pregnant. Like it becomes more of a normalcy when you see, you know, these teen moms happening more often than not.
I don't know the rates, but hasn't teen pregnant, because maybe I'm so detached from it. When I was young, I've said this, I went to Metro, an alternative high school, and it was a whole bunch of, whatever reason you were going there for, and a lot of, you know, single parent or teen parents, mothers, fathers went to the school. So, and a lot of my friends had kids young. So this was like normal for someone to be a teenage mom. It wasn't like weird to me at some point. But then I feel like now people are having kids. I wonder if there's less teen pregnancy. I wonder what the stats are. I feel like people are like having kids old now.
People humping, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
For sure.
These kids in high school, they out here humping. Like it's happening all the time.
But
and maybe
do
it
you
was
think
happening
they have
back
more
in the day.
accommodations to not get pregnant?
They humping, bro. It's going down.
For sure. I mean, I wouldn't. I would be naive to think that they're not. Of course,
this shit out here it's going down. It's on and popping out here. Everything is hypersexualized. Everything.
Oh, for sure. I know. My friend was saying that her son, he's young. They're starting sex education, and she said he didn't want to. You know, he's young. He don't want to do it, but she said you're going to do it. But she goes, afterwards, you're going to tell me what they said, and then I have to because I remember in sex education, this is all they told you. They showed you pictures of like hideous STDs. Basically, if you have sex, you're going to get an STD or you're going to die.
They were trying to scare you.
Yeah, like parents, you got to be involved in that conversation because kids do dumb stuff with that information. They think certain activities are okay. Dude, you can, nah. Right. So that's just, that goes back to communication.
Mhm.
Let's go to some comments for we that we missed. Okay, Bridget Giles, right. No is a complete sentence, no explanation needed. Yes, no, it really is. You don't have to tell people, you don't have to give people an explanation of why you can't do something. No, I'm not available, or no, I cannot, or just no.
Just know.
uh, just no. How about you asking me for a favor? How you gonna question me though? I'm just saying. Okay, so Tim, you can read the next one.
Facts. As the older daughter, I see my childhood completely different than how my younger brother does. That's a true story.
That is a true story. I mean, you and me don't even have the same experience.
Nope. You still want to help your mom. I don't.
Well, you do with boundaries. I look, here's the thing, and I might have some enabling tendencies because I'm just
Some.
tired. It's just easier if I just, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So, what did bring? Oh, hold on, another one. Just a key at heart. Yeah, I'm for sure different mom to Kingston than I was to Landon. And then, oh, yet they closed the daycare at Metro, shaking my head. Yeah, yeah.
Y'all was out there wilding out at Metro. Look.
No, but they was getting us, some ready for life, trying to get us ready for life, the best of abilities. I like Bridget says the school should not be teaching our kids. We should be having them. They kept me from that class because I wasn't high risk. Yes, yet I was pregnant girl, and I was a pregnant girl in middle school. Interesting. Okay. So another thing I kind of wanted to get into is like in families like that communication pattern. And we kind of touched on it a little bit, but like in our families, like that communication pattern of having like being clear,
Sure.
having empathy, and being I think the respect thing is like a big thing, kind of like I just like what I was saying, anything you could, and I get kind of like that. I just say what I think. I still have it in me for sure.
But it's knowing your audience though, and if we're
That's true.
not if we're not taught how to communicate, so for example, if you're in a household where there's yelling, that's how you know to communicate is to yell.
Hmm.
If I'm in a household where silence is a form of communication, then I'm going to be quiet.
Hmm.
So all of those things follow us. So if we're taught like if you want to get your point across, this is how you do it in this way. It's not about what you say, but it's how you say it. Most people are going to respond to it accordingly. But if we're not taught those things, like I didn't learn that stuff till I got in my master's degree, like in grad school. Like I didn't communication. I ain't never knew how to communicate. Like we just say what we say. You know what I mean?
Right.
Obviously, the difference of time and place, but like obviously I wouldn't yell at my supervisor or something like that. Like I know some of those lessons, I guess, but like as far as talking with peers or friends or even your partner, we don't know none of those things until you learn like actual communication strategies. Because I would say how
I,
we was brought up, what it was yelling.
Mom was a yeller for sure.
Yeah.
Like, look, this. I'm gonna give you this example of waking up in the morning. Fine, I'm not waking up, but this lady, even just the first wake up was her yelling, and in my head, I ain't gonna lie, like man, shut the f up. In my head, I'm like, it was just like her voice was like nails on a chalkboard. It like was like ruining my day, and I ain't even woken up fully up yet. Like, it's the first go around.
Yep.
What?
Already in a bad mood before you even
Already in
wake.
a bad mood.
Yeah.
Why are you yelling?
But those are the things that we teach to others. You know what I'm saying? We're big on doing like slow mornings over here. You know what I'm saying? Slow mornings meaning let people lay. I mean, getting better at it because I'm a morning riser and I'll be ready to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bree told me about like getting your cortisol raised. You don't want to have your cortisol high, so that's your stress toxin. You don't want to have that raised up. You know what I'm saying? So that when we're waking up in calmness, so that everybody can get their brains moving and functioning.
I like that now that like I'm an adult, I have a routine when I wake up. Now I had to learn those things like through there. It took me years. I was always just waking up at the last minute. Like I just carried that type of behavior. Sometimes I'm tired and I do sleep in, but I do first thing I get up. I do my skin routine. I wash my face, brush my teeth, make my tea. I read like it just starts my day. Sometimes I can't do all the things, but I got to do the most important things. I can't just roll up out of bed and then get on the computer. I work from home. I mean, I have done that a couple of times, like brush my teeth real quick. And my day was crap.
Yeah.
But I had to learn that. So it's great that you guys have that, like the parents now, you have that, these things, and you can install that in your kids to look. I can show this comment. Bridget says Tamika's routine takes 3 hours. Okay, you guys, technically, look, it takes me like 30 minutes to wash my face. And brush my teeth. This is just wash face, brush teeth. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I'm just tired. I gotta read my journal.
You in there capping, that's why.
I gotta drink my tea. I be moving slow. Who am I talking? I'm just going slow. I go work out. Yeah, it do be taking me like a minute. I'm trying to shorten it the best that I can. Okay. But another thing I wanted to say about communication is I'm going to use myself as an example again. Sorry, guys. I was really shy. In my family, like I hated speaking. I always felt nervous, intimidated. If I wasn't comfortable with you, but still, I wasn't even comfortable with. Isn't it crazy? I wasn't even comfortable with our own family, like outside of like mom and my cousin Charlotte. Our cousin Charlotte, I wasn't. I was always like on edge,
Well, that's because that's the way they made us feel, like we were outsiders.
Oh, for sure. There was something that you had said. This is another good example. I was so used to our family structure. I never saw it this way until you said it. Remember, every year we would go to, I'm just going to be honest, we would go to Comanche, like for Christmas and stuff. And everybody would be opening their presents. Remember you said something about that?
Yeah.
And there would not be, we would end up getting presents, but Charlotte would actually have to, she would
sneak it to us.
Buy it for us on the low. Charlotte's our cousin, but she did raise us. She had Tim too, but obviously she had me longer because I was older. So she did raise us. And the treatment of that, I was so used to it as a norm. It took you, and you were a young child. You were like in middle school. You were very young. And when you said that, I was like, damn, here getting treated like the redheaded steps.
Yeah, they was out here doing us wrong.
That gets into the roles of black sheep. Our mom was a black sheep, low key. High key.
Hey, RIP to the family, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. They're not.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace for sure. And with those things, those actions that happened, there were some forgiveness that had to happen. And it happened for me because at the end, like especially my Aunt Lucille, I got to have these conversations with them towards the end of their lives that made me understand why the way they were. That there was the generational thing. There was things that was passed down to them. I'm going to take it one step further. Like, I think some things that have been said in our family, that our family can be mean. There was things I'm not going to say specifically that were, we had conversations and I understood where it came from. These things happened to her.
Right.
And then some of the things, generations before that, these people are great. So their parents are a touch from slavery,
Right.
a touch. They're in there, and it affected
Yeah, it comes down straight down the pipe.
all all the way of how we communicated and of treatment
Right.
and family roles. But yeah, I was very shy and I would not speak up. I don't even know what type of conversations I would have with the family member. I couldn't even probably go to someone and said that hurt my feelings. Well, nowadays, I think we're doing better where a kid can be like, that really hurt my feelings, mom, dad, or the way
Some though, and some
some,
that's not all across the board
some.
now.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think this is what I'll say. It's more discussed that we should be having better communication.
I would say there's an awareness around
Awareness.
there.
That's the
Yeah.
word. Awareness. I would say awareness.
There's an awareness around that it should happen, but is it happening? Who's to say? That's the hard part about it.
That's the hard part. But
Because the reason I say that is because now these devices get in the way of all things, bro. You walk into some of these homes, they on the phone, they on this. That's what they on. They texting the whole time. No words even being said around the whole family table.
yeah, no words, right? Ooh, so communication is powerful, but you can be taught not to communicate. And I think I was taught personally not to communicate. So I was shy.
Hold it in. Hold it in. Don't say it. Hold it
Hold
in.
it
Hold it
in.
in.
Don't say it. Oh, something or like, okay, I'm feeling this way, but something's wrong with me.
Yeah, it's your fault.
It's your fault. I cussed you out, but it's your fault. And I'm a kid. You just cussed me out.
I yelled at you. It's your fault. You made me mad.
You made me mad. I'm guilty of it too. It's growing. It's growing. Obviously, those things that I experience, of course, I start to embody them in my relationships and had to grow and learn and face some consequences.
Right.
And lose some things because of it. So communication, we did talk about the family, structure a little bit. Let's read a couple comments. Bridge is lighting it up in here. You can read this next one, Tim.
It's okay to allow your kids to have healthy boundaries too. Kids shouldn't be seen and not heard. If they don't like something or someone, we need to take those things serious. Absolutely. For real, take those things serious because a lot of times you there?
Yep, keep going.
All right. A lot of the times, I lost my train of thought. A lot of times kids will tell you something about like someone touched me. You feel me? This is happening, but we don't take it serious because it's like, oh, they're joking. No, like we really need to listen up to what's really going on because those feelings are valid that the kids have. We think that kids aren't smart enough to know, but they know. They know. I'm seeing it firsthand with Kingston. They know what's going on for sure.
Yeah. Something else she said that I liked. It said family secrets cause generational trauma.
And that's what I was getting at with like the touching and rape type stuff, because a lot of this stuff is happening in our families, but nobody would say nothing about it. And I know I'm talking about like some Lifetime movie type stuff, but this is like real life stuff that be happening. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of this stuff really be happening and nobody would take it serious. And then that mother then passes it on to her daughter. Then that daughter now becomes a mother, then passes on to her daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to talk through that stuff for real.
And I think, what the scary part, like, and if something happens, there has to be like a consequence. And then you get scared, everybody's going to be mad at you and blame you. But it is what it is. Wrong is wrong and right is right.
Facts.
But obviously your parents, or remember, we have different households now. Whoever your parents, if you're living with grandparents, you have an auntie raising you, whoever's raising you at this point, there should be a safe place for you to have those conversations. But also as adults, man, we got to be like tapping in. Like, what y'all over here talking about?
Come on.
Oh, like, those family gatherings when they make all the kids go into the back room. Nah. We're not doing that. That's too many. What y'all doing?
Right.
Nah, you're gonna be out here with us.
Come on.
Everybody, we're a family.
At the end of the day, it's everybody's job to protect these kids. Amen.
Right. You just kind of just peep what y'all in there talking about.
Right. Come on.
You know what
man.
I used to do when my goddaughters, they would have friends stay the night, and I would go to the bathroom. They're in the living room talking. I mean, I would stop to see what they was talking about because they was young, like that 14-year-old.
Yeah.
And they're what y'all talk. I just stop a little bit just to hear a little bit what they talk about, just to see what level they are.
Right.
No. Yep. At the end of the day, it's everyone's job to protect these kids. It's a village.
It takes a village.
Yeah, y'all like villages until we start villaging. Nobody. No one. We like villages, but then when the village start villaging, what y'all?
But this is the thing about the village, though.
This is my child.
This is the thing about the village, though. You got to be close with the family
100%.
of the child to even start villaging.
Yes, I would say that. But
and then another thing about it is, don't be mad if that child snaps back because you try to village.
Okay, all of that is true, but what I'm saying, there are some they don't like. I don't have kids, so I can't talk, but I have a lot of godparents, so I'm part of villages, as you know.
Right.
I don't just be saying anything because I'm not the parent, and I tread lightly because I don't have children. But I was a child, and there's some stuff that y'all just don't be seeing. I'd be like, she just played your ass. She lied. Sometimes I wouldn't say anything. Some of my goddaughters, they were straight lying. And then I try to tell the mom, they don't want me villaging. They know. And guess what? That fool lied. So you do got to tread lightly.
They out here capping. I be telling Bree, Kingston ain't got no chance. I be feeling bad for him. He ain't got no chance. He ain't gonna be able to pull nothing on me because I was him.
Right. No, I like something. Look, let's go. Sophia has one. She says, facts. Let the village. I think people create these villages too quick, though.
Mm-hmm.
Examine and choose your villagers. Who your villagers will be. Yep. If that's done, villaging shouldn't be a problem. 100%. 100%. Choose too quick. I think that's where it comes in. And I do think delivery, like how you approach it, does matter. Like you know what I mean? Because sometimes what I've learned, the parent is trying their best, and sometimes they already feel like shit because they don't think they're up to, this is just what I've experienced. They don't even feel like they're doing their best. And then you come in, you need to, okay.
All right, chill.
I'll chill. I agree with it. Chill out. They already feel bad, and we don't even know what we would do in that situation where we will need our village to help us and understand us. So yes. Oh, that was a perfect comment. So Phil, yes, you have to choose your village. Now, speaking of village, again, we're talking about this family structure, what your family can be made up. You can choose your family. You can construct it any way you want. I would say you and me both had like a lot of friends and friend groups. So a lot of as being older, friendships mean a lot to me. So Phil, I'm going to call you out on here. She is one of the really good friends in the tribe that I'm a part of. And we are an intentional forming tribe. We probably in our relationships and are still growing. But we really have been there for each other and supportive. And fortunately, very fortunately in a healthy way because we all have done our personal work
Right.
and we met in a positive way that brought us together. So, family doesn't have to be your blood at all. I want to give a shout out to Laura. Laura's one of my best friends. I'm the goddaughter to two of her. She has two daughters, and we've lived together. We've experienced all these things, adulthood, whatever, all the things. But her family has always been very good to me. They've treated me very well. I consider her family another family, another village. There's times they've let me stay at their house. They have fed me, let me borrow all their carts. They've just been amazing over these years. So family isn't always blood.
And I would say Bridget too. Shout out to Bridget. She locked in every time, every episode. We've been with Bridget locked in since y'all was what? How old was y'all?
I met Bridget when I was 12, maybe, or 13. But
y'all still cool.
Oh yeah, we've been through ups and downs. Let me tell you, me and her used to like we both came from like just really weird backgrounds, dysfunctional backgrounds. So this was our communication style when we were young. Okay, she's family, so this is communication style. We used to like yell at each other back then. Like we would get into it and then we would hang up and then call each other back because we wanted to get the last word because that's what you do, right? Me and her have gotten in a fist fight in middle school. I don't care. You started it. I don't care. She started it. We've gone through marriages, pregnancies, all the stuff together.
And then the last big one though moved to Arizona.
Moved to big Arizona, which you guys don't know. Well, some of you know that. I guess I'm gonna be real. I was in a bad relationship. Let's call it was an abusive relationship. It ended, and she knew. Bridget, you did start that fight, anyways. With your attitude, but. She knew she was like one of the people, like you keep things a secret sometimes. And I really kept that a secret. And as much as I tell my business, I really kept that a secret. But she actually knew about it. She knew of like one incident and she held on to it. She's like, it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. So then she was living in Arizona and she said, oh, I have an extra room. If you ever want to move here, you can come here. And I was like, I'm not moving to Arizona. Hell no. And, Bridget had a situation where we were talking one night. I'm not going to tell your business, but there might not have been a room for me, but she was relocating and we're talking in the middle of the night. And she says, bitch, I'm still going to have a room for you. So it is what it is. I'm still like, I'm not coming. A month later, I call her. This is how we talk, you guys, because we're sisters. I said, bitch, I'm coming. She said, okay. I said, I'll be there March 1st.
And guess what? I'm going to cut you off. She stayed at my studio apartment for a month, bruh. That's our family, sister. I live in a studio apartment, sleeping on the couch so you can sleep in my bed.
Look, Tim had the thing. You don't believe in heat. It was freezing. And he would get mad if I turned the heat up a little bit. I left one dish and he said he had fruit flies. Tim, it was lint.
No cap. All right, so this is how you can even ask Bree. You can ask Bree. I got one cup, one fork, one spoon, one plate, because it's just me there. So when there's multiple plates in the sink, come on, man.
It was one full. But anyway,
come on, man.
I ended up staying with Bridget and her family. And guess what, you guys? I stayed with them for a year and a half. Like, I could have moved out at some point, but I really needed to be around a family and heal. And I got that. Like, we operated as a family. And so I'm grateful for that. So it takes a village. And you're my village. Bridget, Giles, I love you. Tim, it was one plate though. Oh, and shout out to my brother Tim, because I remember I was sitting in his studio. I'm eating this like meal, and I was so sad, y'all. This breakup messed me up. Like, I wasn't even combing my hair. I was like talking to him. I was like, I haven't showered in 3 days. He was like, and you've been laying in my bed. I was like, I don't know. And I go, I just feel so low. And he goes, well, the only thing, what did you say? You said, well, the only thing that's left is up. I was like, it was just the way, I was just like, you ain't shit. That was all you had. But he drove me all the way to
Arizona. We made it through the fog. Shit, thought we was about to die. That was a trip.
It was, but I did drive. We drove all the way to Albuquerque, New Mexico. He was like, I think, and it was in the fog. It was so bad. He goes, we got 8 hours left. I think we can make it. I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I really think I could have made it though. I ain't gonna hold
No,
you.
I was done. So Phil, so T, it might be you. That's Tim for you. Oh, Bridget did say love it. Love. She said thanks, Tim, and I love you all. I love y'all too. So Phil said, Tim said you brought the fruit flies. Bridget said you started the fight.
It is you, bro. See, look, someone has to make people aware of their behaviors and their actions, bro. Jordy be out here capping.
Look, whatever. Damn. Okay, so adaptability and change. So, family dynamics, even in our village family, and not. So I want to include, this. We don't have to be blood to be family. So all family systems. Sometimes there's changes that happen internally and externally that changes our patterns, like life events, like births. What else? Deaths, marriages, divorces, relocation. It changes the dynamics. Have you experienced that?
I mean, yeah. So, I live by myself, as I kind of just stated. The 1 cup, 1 bowl, 1 spoon, 1 fork. That was me for quite some time. Even living with Devin, I was still in the same thing. And then, moving in with Bree. Bree has a stepson. And then we move into a house.
Well, Bree has a son. He's your stepson.
Yeah, Bree has a son. My stepson. My bad. Yeah. Yep. So, living there in the studio in the duplex. And then we get pregnant. So then now we're like, we need to have a house. So then we moved to a house. Now we got 2 children under 1 roof. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get used to that dynamic. And then, there's even change for Landon. Landon have me moving into his house with his mom. And then now him bringing in a little brother. And then for Bree, Bree bringing us all together as the Rock. So bringing in me, bringing me and her son, and then now us having another son. You know what I'm saying? So there's been a lot of adaptive functionality within the Johnson and Peppers household.
Do you think? I always think you getting married helped our family. I do. And
well, now we got a place to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no, we ain't going to Cedar Rapids to be in whatever that is.
But y'all, I be staying up in their house.
She'd be out here for like a couple of months, eating all my food, driving up all my gas in my car. Look, come on, drinking all my alcohol. Come on.
That was one time.
Golly, bro. See, that's how our family system changed. Now I'm the big brother to the big sister. That's where we at. That's where we shifted to.
The family structure change. I be going to my brother for advice. I just be eating their food. Look, y'all have so much food. Like, I could go get some more food, but does that make sense? It doesn't.
I mean, I guess do what you got to do, fam. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do.
I think having, and then the dynamic of like having nephews.
Oh yeah, 2 nephews.
But yes, and like them being boys, I'm used to little, like, the girls. Like, girls are like sassing you all the time and discussing, boy. I mean, Kingston do be, look, I don't care. Kingston, my nephew.
Kingston's only 2 years old, bro.
I don't care. He didn't say it. He said it. He said, I said, I love you, Kingston. He said, I don't love you. I
He
saw
can't even form that sentence.
he's lying to
He
y'all.
might be able to now, actually. He probably can now, but I don't think he could 6 months ago when he was here. Or what is that? 3 months ago.
This was in December. Can I look? Yeah, but I like being an aunt. It's cool and it's nice. Little boys are cool. But I think it's changed. It's definitely I would say the birth of Kingston did change our family dynamic. I think it did better for mom too. She's coming out for his birthday.
Yeah, she'll be out here.
You know what? And he likes her like way better than me.
Because she looks more like me than you do.
Look, but I think it's your fault. My nephew be mistreating me. He played too much like his dad.
He does play a lot.
Yeah, so that's how he picks on me. So has there been any life changes for me that has changed our family? Oh, I'm just chilling.
I'd probably say the biggest one is just moving to Arizona, which is what it is.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I think once mom moves up there with you, that'll be another big life change for you.
Mom's not moving here. Just when she moves into y'all's spare bedroom.
Nah, we'll move out of this. We'll move out of this house here in 2 years. But yeah, she'll have to be out. She'll have to be in the warmth. Ain't no way she can do these Iowa winters.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, the plan really would be for all of us to move out there, low key.
Yeah.
Or Florida. That'd probably be.
I'm not moving to Florida, child. But I would say it was a big shift just moving the first year. 2 years I was out here, I was isolated from everybody at home. I got off of social media, y'all. Your girl was down and out. I did not want nothing to do with Iowa. I was on Instagram, and Instagram wasn't even like popping like that for me. Now I like Instagram better than Facebook. But but I didn't see my family. I didn't see y'all for almost 2 years. That's the longest I've ever gone. So that was different. Just not seeing you guys.
Right.
And then y'all came from Thanksgiving and we had a blast.
Yeah, we kicked it. I think Bree threw up on the airplane ride home.
Bree, no, this is I'm talking when you and mom came.
Oh, when me and mom came?
When you and mom came, but you threw up though.
Oh yeah.
Remember we went out and we separated and you took all these shots with people and we had to pull over in the cab so you could throw up.
Yeah, that was a bad night.
That was a bad night for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad night. Oh yeah, because I saw Colton and all them. We went over there and kicked it with Colton and them. Yeah, that was a bad night for sure. Thought I was still in college.
You learned real quick. So change and adaptability. And sometimes it's hard for family members to change to different roles because your roles change. And as you're growing and you're healing, some people are healing and some people are not. That can be a clash.
Right.
It could be resistance.
Facts.
To change. The other thing, multi-generational influences. We kind of touched on that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the passing down. Look up epigenetics. You know, there's a lot of things that happen in our DNA. Well, it passes through DNA. The trauma passes through our DNA, so that, like, you know, if you're in certain spots where it's like, where is this anxiety coming from? Where is this maybe this pain in my left knee coming from? You know, there's a lot of research on epigenetics of how all of that is passing down through generation to generation. It's kind of cool science. It's new. It's probably like the last decade, maybe 10, 15 years. But yeah, there's a lot of new science and research coming out about epigenetics.
That's what's up. So what is a way that you feel that you have broken, we're just gonna be blunt, a generational curse that you think?
Bree said more reasons why you got to release that ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said, how do I break generational curses?
What's one way that you feel like you have or you contributed to?
Well, it was crazy. So like I always knew like I was gonna be a good parent, regardless of just from to
Mhm.
be real, working at Orchard Place, bruh. For those that don't know what Orchard Place is, it's a psychiatric residential facility in Iowa. Working there like showed me how to like raise kids. Like regardless of however you want to frame it,
Mhm.
consistency is going to be the best thing that you can do for all things. But I would say mom was over here at our house one day and there was a cup of water on the end table right by the couch and Kingston had knocked it over. She's like, "You're
Mhm.
not going to hit him for that?" I was like, "Hell no. You should never put your cup there for him to nice one."
You go hit her.
but that's what, you know what I'm saying, those are the ways that
Right.
people were taught on how to like discipline their kids. Like it's not the kid's fault that that happened. As
Right.
adults, we have to be aware that we have a 1-year-old walking around. There's glass jars that are right next to where he can grab. It's probably going to end up on the floor.
Right.
And then yeah, like as Bridget said, you know, bought a house, got married, um, breaking that poverty, you know, the mindset of being impoverished
Mhm.
mindsets. So yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I got one quick story about Kingston. Me, mom, and Kingston went. I remember I took them out for pizza and stuff. We had the whole day, which I had to change a very shitty diaper. Oh, so disgusting. But anyways, we went to get pizza and I got Kingston his own little pizza and then we ordered drinks. We're waiting for our food. And my mom takes Kingston's cup and she goes, he has to wait till he eats first. I said, why? It's like 100 degrees outside. We're all sitting here. It's like water. She's like, so he doesn't spoil his appetite. I'm like, it's fine. He can eat it later. He gonna watch. It's hot. Like it was hot. He gonna watch us just drink, and he's just gonna sit there. I don't think so, lady.
That's
but
how the
but
game go.
but I asked her why. But instead of me just being like how I am now, I did ask her. I was curious. I had been asking why to her a lot. Like why do you think that? And you know what she said? She said, "Oh, that's just what I was taught."
Yep.
But it wasn't even like a reason.
There ain't no
I was
reason.
like, I said, well, I think it's fine. He can just drink the water.
But that's how the game go. Like
Yeah.
I think also another thing is, you know, from being able to reflect on how we were raised, I never wanted that to be a part of anything I got going on.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn, thanks. Bridget is putting it all in there. How we both. Yeah.
Tamika's used some drugs, don't cap.
Shut up. Not, do not put I have not. Stupid.
It's all good, bro. It's all good.
No. I would say maybe from all those things like Bridget kind of listed for you and I, like we both broke the poverty mentality, we both graduated from college, and both said no to drugs for sure. But I would say for myself is probably getting the proper like going to therapy, um, and doing like just the internal work, it's ongoing.
That's
It's
how it
ongoing.
goes.
Yeah, it's like probably the best thing. Um, that's why I even think like there's, I'm not married yet, and don't have any children. I don't want children like a child yet, and I think there's things for me like breaking certain curses like for women in our family that
Right.
I think for myself overcoming and working in so I'm able to sometimes you just got to do the work first and the sacrifice maybe it's not a sacrifice it's just going to take me longer. I've always been kind of a late bloomer anyways, so there's that. But just so I can be an example like you, like I'm walking into a healthy relationship and doing the
Mm-hmm.
things. But definitely all those things that Bridget lists for both of us. So, you know,
We
I
out here
keep I
doing this
keep
episode.
keep moving and shaking. That's
Shake and bake.
really shake and bake. Tim, read this comment, please, sir.
It's so easy to continue to perpetuate learned behaviors without understanding the reason behind them. Asking questions is important. Digging deeper is key. 100%. Gotta
Yes.
know. We gotta find out. And
Yeah,
once you
because
find out,
it
you gotta
has
let
to
it
be
go.
Yeah, when she said it, then I kind of calmed down. I was like, why? You didn't let my baby not have no drink. And then I finally just go, why? And she told me why. And I was like, oh, okay. I go, but it's okay. I get it.
Right.
And then we just this has been a good conversation. And I hope everyone out there, whatever you need to do to move in a healthy way, in your family that's best for you, it's okay to do that. It's okay to have boundaries. It's okay to say what you need. Um, it's okay to not play a role that you're not comfortable playing. And it's okay to communicate, and it's okay to love your family, whether they're blood or they're not, and choose your villagers wisely.
For sure.
Oh, I like what's this is the one of the thing I like that so for a long time we couldn't even ask questions though.
You just had to take it how it was.
Right. Children, you were being disrespectful
Yeah. Yep.
if you asked questions. If a child asked any question, it's disrespectful. If you questioned any authority, which you probably should question some shit. Maybe you're
Right.
really questioning because you don't understand.
Right.
That's why they're asking. What are your thoughts, Tim, to end us off?
Thoughts to end. Keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on. Oh, and I what families when how earlier you did say something, and we'll end on this note. It was about getting to that therapeutic stage. How do you get there with family dysfunction, or just it doesn't even have to be dysfunction, even just change?
Man, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's consistency. And again, someone has to be able to identify it and have the awareness around what it is. A lot of times we sit based off of something being what we're used to. And then whoever that identifier must have been exposed to something that is
Mm-hmm.
different. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times what we view as normal is a relative word.
For
Your
sure.
normal is going to be different from my normal, but if we're all in the same mixing pot and that is normal within that, the yelling, screaming, the violence, the abusive behaviors, the drug and alcohol, that's normal to us. But then it takes someone to be exposed to something different to be like, well, no, this isn't normal. What are we doing? And that can be, you know what I'm saying? That can take you down a rabbit hole where it's like, oh my God, my whole life has been what it has been. But you got to be willing to fight that, you know what I'm saying, to go and seek that help, and then slowly start to bring in the family so that nobody will, I mean, you're going to lose people along the way of that.
Mhm.
It's going to happen because there are a lot of other variables that are mixed into that family system. However, that doesn't mean that you should stop trying to get the help that you need and supporting those other family members who also want to seek that help and support out too.
I love it. Man, this was a good one, and I really appreciate you guys tuning in. You can also listen, and please rate the show on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. I will put those links in the about section or in the comment section, but you can go into the about section. Click on us there. If you're interested and you know anyone who wants to be a guest or if you have topics that you want to discuss, you guys hit me up. Let me put this out here where y'all can. So you can send me an email at bougiegirl@gmail.com. Bougie Girl is BOOSHE GURL. Yeah, you guys, you can also check me out on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok under Bougie Girl. And you got anything else for the folks?
Nah.
Nah. All right. I love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I do want to say like we're getting like way more engagement, and I just want y'all to keep coming back and
Hey, tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Let's get this cracking.
let's get it cracking. Until next time, peace and blessings.